time and I am awake. Actually slept pretty well last night. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Rach. I made my tea a little too early. Um, and so I have water now.
Can you
Uh,
turn yourself up? I'm like um, max volume and I can almost barely hear you.
hmm. Jen's saying she's having trouble hearing me. Okay. Let me find out. Nope, nope. That's not what I want. Cancel. All right, let me get audio here. Here, let's try this. Is this better? Is this any better? Let's see. Just check in. Give a few moments. I've got water this morning. Is this better, Jen? Can she hear me?
Ah,
Yes,
yeah, much
apparently
better.
this is much better. This is on my little Bluetooth here. Okay, so I actually slept pretty well last night. Like I said, I made my tea too early because I got up too early today. Um, I should have waited to make my tea. That's okay. So I had a wonderful phone call, uh, the 17th, which would have been Saturday, I think it was. My grandmother called me and told me about her birthday present. She turned 90 on the 16th, and my grandmother went skydiving for her birthday. Isn't she amazing? And apparently she did so well. Like she did a 3-point landing, and apparently that was a big deal. And like all the people there were like congratulating her on how awesome she is and everything like that. So, yeah, your mic's very soft. Oh, hmm. Let me see. We can always try to change to something else. Oh, it's better now? Okay. Okay. But so yeah, that's what she did for her birthday was skydive. She's amazing. I want to be her when I grow up. 'Cause I'm not done yet. I'm not done. Let's see what else is going on. Book two has a new cover, a new edition, so you can pick that up. Paperback, I need to check on. I think something needs to be fixed, but that should be up very soon. But you can get the ebook version. Um, so if you want to suggest that to your friends, please do. Let's see what else is happening. Working on Small Embers, which is the last piece for the box set, and that will be a free story for you guys. So I'm working on that. I'm doing a lot on it, so I'm giving myself a little grace because I'm not just revising, I'm revising, editing, and formatting all at the same time. So yeah. Don't forget on my birthday, I will be doing a live charity stream for our charity of the year and our cookbook of the year. Um, and also taking part next month in Fall Into a Book giveaway with Isn't It Romantic Book Club. That's it. Sorry, had to get there. Um, I'm also collecting stuff for our On the Wings for Writers newsletter. It was amazing. I couldn't do it, and she's 90 and did it. I know. I remember one year back when I was in like middle school or high school, she gave herself a hot air balloon ride for her birthday. And I was just like fascinated by her. She does things like this. And it's just amazing. And she makes friends that like she has forever. Like she'll go on a trip and she'll tell me, "Oh, I made friends with this couple that were by me, and now we're pen pals, and I'm gonna go visit them in their at their place next month." And she's just she's a Leo, and she's very extroverted, and she has amazing stories. I think that's why I love grandmas and dramas that are really awesome. Um, I also love to put in really good grandmas if I can. Um, but yeah, yeah, she's awesome. She's amazing. She's fearless. She terrified Jen. Jen is absolutely terrified of her.
So 10 feet tall, lightning out of her eyes.
uh, she was the best female role model I ever had, and I was very, very lucky that when I rolled for this family or chose this family this time around, I got the best grandma in the world. Oh my goodness. So what else is going on? I shared a link to the photo for what we're going to be talking about in a moment about writing scenes with our little Writer's Little Helper book. Let's see, we are picking, I'm working on September. I got some cool stuff for you guys. What else? I don't know. I don't know. So maybe I'll just get to what we're going to chat about today. So, out of the Writer's Little Helper by James B. Smith Jr., I highly recommend picking this book up. Oh, someone might recognize this bookmark. Yes, bookmark. It's in my book right now. So today we're going to talk about a tool, and it's Shirley's books. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Here's the link to my books. So this tool is organizing 10 easy scenes. So basically what this author talks about is you don't necessarily need to outline. He doesn't care if you outline or you don't, but he recommends 10 this 10 scene tool. And because outlining um, is so much, this scene tool is so much easier than outlining. So for people who are not big on outlining and you just want to keep track, um, this is a tool. Use this tool to sketch in the 10 most important scenes in your novel. You know, I put my glasses on for a reason around my neck. And then I forgot to put them on. Here we go. Okay, no subplots, no detours, no kidding. For your central plot or main storyline, these 10 scenes will carry the freight. You'll choose your most dramatic, most telling, most compelling points in the story. Everything else having to do with the main storyline involves creating other devices that provide characterization, motivation, minor scenes, and other fiction tools for carrying readers' interest and involving between the 10 most important scenes. Every novel I've ever written or read or heard about can be deconstructed into 10 scenes. The same goes for plays, films, and teleplays. I look like a librarian. That is your bookmark. I look like a librarian. Jen. She's battling something or other. She's not listening. Notice I'm not suggesting that the creators of these works of fiction used only 10 scenes to write the story. I'm just saying you could plan the central storyline of your novel to go 10 scenes or fewer. I'm arranging that if you write the central story well in these 10 scenes, the
Yes,
rest
you look like a librarian.
um, the central story well in these 10 scenes, the rest of the novel would take care of itself. The tool helps you simplify when you're finished writing the scene headlines. In the boxes, you will have a central storyline intact. Adjust it as your novel progresses, adding or amending as new and developments occur to you. When you get stumped in the middle of your novel, refer back to these 10 scenes to remind yourself where you're supposed to be going. In other words, adhere to this fundamental. Rule of thumb, stick to the central storyline by using the 10 scene tool, and you will avoid most fatal structural mistakes made by amateur fiction writers. So, I took a picture of this, and the link is above in the chat, and I will add this to the description as well, this link. So, you basically have the opening, the beginning stuff, the middle stuff, and then the end stuff. And then you have these boxes. So in the beginning, you have point A, the opener, and that is um, one of the scenes you need to identify first. There's a little asterisk. And so then you go down and you have complications, complications, and then the point of no return complication, another scene that you really need to do first. And then that goes down to other complications, other complications, other complications, big complication, and then the closer climax, and then the ending. And so there are one, two, three, four, five scenes that you want to start identify first, starting with point A and point X, and then you can fill in the other boxes. If I had to look like the 70s mom this weekend, you can handle Smexy librarian. Thank you for the Smexy part. Thank you so much for the Smexy part. So, with this tool, supposedly, you will avoid excess story complexity or overplotting, wandering, overwriting, inability to explain what the story's about, and a host of other sins. I think it's like similar also to the snowflake method, maybe. I know I use the snowflake method to write my blur because it helps me get down to what's the original story. All the other things being equal, if you can nail down the central structure, if you have a story worth telling, the ability to write it using these 10 scenes as your roadmap, you can sell your fiction. To make it easier, I've cut your job in half to get you started. Just sketch in the headlines of the five scenes with the asterisks in them. Then pick one scene, begin writing there. And when you're satisfied that you have set down the essence of that scene, start with another. When you have five done, write five more. After that, you don't need a sticking tool. You'll know what to do next. Happy writing. Try the 10 scene writing tool right now. So pick a story of your own. You know, this is an exercise if you would like to take part in it. So pick a story of your own. You know the one. It might be that idea you've been noodling in your head for months or even years. Go ahead, commit it to paper. Put down the headlines for your opener, your closer, fill in the rest of the blank boxes, or it might be great chapter one you can get past. Plug it into the tool, what comes next, what comes after that, or it might be the 200 pages in a dusty corner of your closet. Pull it out, extract the big scenes, and reduce them to headlines in the 10 scene tool. Take it from there. You know what to do. Congratulations, you're on your way to getting done with your story. Who is this tool by? This tool is by James B. Smith Jr., who wrote The Writer's Little Helper. And like I said, the link to the photo, I took a photo of the tool in here, and that's up in the top of the chat. Next week, we'll be doing the 21 key traits, which is a checklist. Uh, and this is in the getting published section. It's a cute little book. I highly recommend it. Let me see if I can find the link to it on Amazon. Yep, here we go. Copy link address. I stole this one from my roommate. So here's the link to the to it on Amazon. So highly recommend it. I've gotten some really good tools out of it. Um, but yeah, this I think is even more simplified than the snowflake method. So it might work for some, and definitely keep you from going everywhere. All right. So I write scenes. I use the romance beats when I'm let me see if I can pull it up. Um, romance. So there's a romance beat sheet um, that I use. Um, Here's a nice little link. So I use that um, to plot out the romance. And then I use a suspense or thriller beat sheet. Are basically the basics of what you need for a suspense. And so I use both of those at the same time. So that way, when I'm outlining, I'm weaving those two things together because I write romance suspense. So I need to focus on the romance. Then I have this romance subplot. Well, it's not really element. I'll call it an element. Um, and so I sit with the boxes, the beats beside each other, and then weave them together. Which could be complicated for some people. I do it in a form of like a tool. What am I trying to say? A table. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, and so I have like beat one, beat two, beat three. Um, and that way, because they're similar, of a story structure. Um, and so I kind of weave those together and make those work. When I write urban fantasy, on the other hand, let me, I have a different tool because in that I am doing a specific, it is a noir mystery. So there are certain things that are necessary for a noir, and there are certain things that are necessary for a mystery. And so I have to keep those in my thought process for my outlining. Let's see. So I had the noir plot um, notes, and then I have the because I have the 11 elements of writing noir, and then how to plan a crime. So you need the crime, the motive, a motive, crime scene, criminal antagonist, a victim, a detective, Avril is my main detective, um, and she's the most important. She's the protagonist. A profiler, a sidekick friend, desire for justice, suspects, witnesses, and backstory, forensics, investigative skills, the means and opportunity, clues, and red herrings. And then you have a confession, justice, and a lesson, which is the theme. And then there are certain things that are specific to a noir plot, um, because it's a certain kind of mystery. Um, so I keep those straight and use them in my outline. So that's how I write scenes and plan out my scenes. So I would love to hear how you plan out your scenes, what you use, what tools you use. Um, Share those in the chat or in the comments section below. And let's start a conversation on how you plot out stuff or if you pants it. It's really hard, to me, it's really hard to pants suspense, mystery, or noir because you have to know how the killer did it, or like I don't just focus on my main characters. I have to focus on the bad guy and why the bad guy did what and why they're the hero of their story and why they think they're right and justify all of their actions to themselves. Um, so it's like I have to know those things before I can really write. Um, so to me, suspense and thrillers and that kind of thing require forward movement. They require you to do work in the beginning. I pants then go back and use the Franken tool from Save the Cat, Write a Book, and Michael Hughes' 6-point movie plotting. Oh, interesting. So you pants first and then go back. Oh, that's interesting. I will stop at the end of Act 2 and check and make sure all of my questions, which questions have been answered, which ones are not, and make sure everything has been braided properly before I finish, before I do the third act. So I will stop at the end of second act, check everything, and come back. So I wrote it all out and provide it with my resources. Ooh, author resources. There's a little thingy in my way. I wonder if I did this, that would help. Yeah, well, that makes it wider, so maybe. I love how I'm like trying to see around the little bubble. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? But the smaller novels, novellas, kind of go back to a 4-act structure. Hmm. I use a 3-act structure. I think I did use a 4-act structure once. Might have been Stephen Mallory's book because that one was a thriller. And that one had a lot of moving elements in it. So that was book 3 in the Fire series. So yeah, I despise the emote thingy. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. That's right in the way. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me wet my throat and we will read the last chapter of Home Fires, which is available for free during re-raves. Yay! Um, what? She did that on purpose. All right, here we go. Chapter 7. A few days and I've decorated the house in fresh greenery and tasteful decorations. I love the way it looks. Travis was a little disgruntled that he couldn't help much with the cooking because of his shoulder. We lovingly set the long table with fancy dishes and sides. Travis is at the head of the table. He looks nervous today, and Tony mentioned that he had narrowed down to two guitarists for the tour and planned to pick one in the next 2 days after all the holiday rush ends. Travis smiles with a content look in his electric blue eyes at me, and it sends happy shivers down my spine. Peering back into his eyes, my breath hitches when I think about everything I almost lost the other day with my stupidity. He shakes his head, and I know he knows what I'm thinking and is trying to reassure me that we're okay and not to think about it anymore. Tony is on Travis's left, Anna beside him, her arm in a sling as well. The skin on her eyes has a bluish blush of purple from her ordeal. She won't be going with us later to second home. Tony plans to drop her off at their apartment. I think I missed that. I don't think it's supposed to be second home. Hmm. Wonder if I can highlight that. Um, to the soup kitchen. There, fix that. Soup kitchen. Tony plans to drop her off at their apartment. Her father and Tony's old CO, Admiral Hahn, are laughing at something Nash said. There's a place for Mike and Eric between the Admiral and Steve, and I wish Mallory could be here, but she's away in California visiting with her mother and grandmother for the holidays. I invited Mallory's business partner, Cass, and their office assistant, Jacqueline, but they couldn't make it today. Nash gazes down at his watch and gets up from the table with a nod at Travis before heading down the hall to the front door. Took you long enough. The smell of Raven's Christmas lunch has been killing me, Steve tells Mike. He smiles back at Steve and sniffs the air with a big grin on his open face. I need to figure that out. That's suffering. Sorry, I'm late. He gives us all a head nodding greeting while he makes it further into the room. No worries, get in here, I tell him, opening my arms for a hug before I notice bag handles in his fists as he comes over and kisses my cheek in greeting. Oh, you can leave those in the den, Mike. Steve will eat the table if I make him wait any longer, Mike laughs. I made your favorite pie, I tell him with a radiant smile. He makes his way to an empty seat at the table. Sounds like I made it just in time, Eric's voice from the hall. Uh, Comes from the hall behind Nash behind him. Now we can get started, I say, with a giggle at the end. Travis pats my hand that rests on his shoulder. Mike pulls wrapped gifts from his bags as I head to the oven and stove to bring more dishes to the table. Travis opens an envelope containing a gift certificate to an adventure park. Mike gave me a ring light, camera tripod, and gift subscription to a skill course site. I smile at his conspiratorial grin. Does Mike know something I don't? Steve grins at me. I know he knows that I've had something in the works, and I've been keeping it close to my chest. I roll my eyes at him and look over at Tony as he opens an anchor paperweight and Anna a phoenix figurine. Steve rips open the wrapping and finds an antique leather case about 3 inches in diameter. Opening the case, we see the diffused winter light coming in from the long windows shine on a brass ring that lifts off the piece inside. Thanks, man. This is awesome. Steve pats Mike on the back, his voice a little tight. Most of them seem to slow down their food consumption. Nash rises. We thank Mike and dig in. I'm going to have to work on this one today. Most of them seem to slow down their food consumption. When Nash rises from the table and begins taking dishes away and piling them in the sink, Travis stands up from his chair. I've got this, man. You rest your arm while you can, Nash tells him. Travis takes a deep breath, smiles, and reaches into his pocket with his free hand, kneeling next to me. Glancing down at Travis, I'm in shock at what it looks like Travis is doing. My hands rise to my chest, guarding my heart. I'm already in tears before he gets the ring box open. Don't cry, love. Let me get the box open. Travis laughs, and they all laugh with him. He fumbles with the box with a limited motion of using one hand, but gets it open. Someone wise once told me, you are the best thing that ever happened to me. I was stupid once, and I like to think that I learned from my mistakes. That statement is more than the surrounding friends know just how stupid we've both been. I think we are both even in that department now. Will you be will you be my forever better half? The reason I smile first thing in the morning and thank God every night. Travis continues. I nod my head and try to dash tears from my face, but they keep coming in a torrent down my cheeks. Travis rises from his kneeling position, hugs me first before taking my hand and placing the ring on my finger. I hug him I hug him enthusiastically, but I'm still conscious of his healing shoulder. Then I show the ring to everyone. After I've composed myself, I head back to the kitchen area and hand Nash a stack of dessert plates and pies along my arms, tears still streaking down my face as I come back to the table. Let's celebrate. I place pies on the table in front of us. Later, we watch everyone leave. Tony and Anna left. They come up behind me and Anna gives me a side hug. Travis comes up behind me and puts his own hand in the same spot on my back, and I wave at the couple as they head to their car. I expect to hear about their engagement any day now, Travis says in my ear. Not until after our wedding. Tony wouldn't want to steal anyone's moment. True. We should get going, don't you think? Yeah. I turn back to the house and head to the kitchen to grab my bag of gear. I wouldn't have thought a few days ago that we would be engaged, and that Travis, Nash, and Tony would help me serve Christmas dinner to homeless people. But here we are. And I know we have things to work on, but we'll do that together, like we've done everything else. I sigh at the thought. Such heavy thoughts, Travis says as he opens the car door for me. Just happy ones. I smile at him. Thrilled ones. Nash turns the engine over, and Christmas music streams out of the radio. So yes, Travis proposed in Home Fires. Um, and this chapter will be up on Ream later today because obviously I need to check it a little bit more. Um, but yeah, you can read it for free during Ream raids, and also you can get all three books, Into the Fire Inside, and If the Seas Catch Fire, which Stephen Mallory's story happens after the engagement. Um, uh, so you don't want to miss that because I was very mean to Steve. Poor Steve. I think I need to have a sticker that says "Poor Steve" now. You make a sticker. It says poor Steve. Um, I do want to make stickers for my my books and stuff. That's what Ream is for. We let our readers see into the imperfections we are working on. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it'll be ready soon. I will get that up. Let's see what else. I'm still looking for authors that want to take part in my charity stream. I know I do need a poor Steve. Um, so if you'd like to take part in the charity stream, just let me know. Um, and next blog post on Wednesday will be part of the Authors That Inspire Me blog series. And this one will be on Jacqueline Carey and her amazing crucial trilogy. Well, the two trilogies, because I don't particularly like the last part. Um, is all the people that I love were gone. And people love the chibi versions. Yes. Oh, yeah, I gotta make, I've already been making the chibis. I wish I could be here for the charity stream. Gotta see the doctor. I know. Oh, I hope things go well with that. Um, I really do. Don't forget if you want to share how you write scenes or how you plan out scenes. If you pants or if you plot or if you're in the middle. Um, share that in the comments section if you're rewatching. Check out The Writer's Little Helper. Uh, I hope that you're having a great week and happy full moon for everybody. So, yeah, take care, be safe, and I love you all.